Hey everyone, happy November to you. So I'm coming to you pretty jacked that Christmas is right around the corner. So usually I'm the one that wants to enjoy every single holiday for what it is. I don't like jumping ahead because I really like to enjoy just everything about every holiday. But last night I kind of broke my own rule. I watched Fred Claus, and so now I'm ready. I'm ready for Christmas. So for those of you that have your Christmas tree up already, or you've been singing Christmas carols since Halloween, I get it. I totally get it. I'm there. So whenever I was done watching Fred Claus last night, it just got me thinking about parenting strategies surrounding Christmas. And so I've heard a lot of Santa Claus and Elf on the Shelves. They're about to make their appearances if they haven't already. So parents are feeling pretty dang good that they got that extra muscle to motivate their kids to behave well for the holiday season. Or, sometimes they can use these things for discipline or the threat of Santa not bringing a special thing on their wish list. That might get the kids to fall in line real quick. So, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to be a Grinch and tell you don't do those things, because those are part of a lot of people's tradition. So, you know what? Have fun with that stuff. But what I would recommend is making sure that we are really balancing our traditions with some tried and true, proven parenting strategies that will last a lifetime and that will really teach our kids to do the right thing when no one's looking, and to do the right thing just for the sake of it being the right thing to do. So that's really what we teach. We teach self regulation, and that's what these parenting strategies are. So, conversely, think about the motivation that Santa Claus or elves on the shelf might have towards our kids. Does it last a full year? I would argue probably not. Usually, about 2 out of the 12 months, Santa and elves on the shelf can be a motivator for good behavior, right? And then also, there might be an expiration date as far as how far into our children's development that Santa and elves on the shelf are motivating. So, by certain ages, that just might not be as motivating to do the right thing. So, in the meantime, what are we doing alongside those things if we are, in fact, using those things? So, that's kind of the question today. And so, as we think about that and you're entering into the holiday season, I would encourage you to make it really simple. If you can simplify the holidays, you're going to have less stress. And if you can simplify your parenting strategies to encourage your children to behave well, you're going to you're going to have a lighter step in this holiday season and not feel so stressed out during these couple of months. So the first thing is spending time with your children, even in the hustle and bustle of everything going on, all the extra things probably that you might be on your calendar. It's really important to tune in every day to your kids, put down the phone, turn off the TV, really have some one-on-one time, remembering that quality over quantity. So 5 minutes of very concentrated time with your children usually means a lot more to them than an hour of everybody staring at the TV. So keep that in mind. It doesn't take a lot of time, and it really doesn't take a whole lot of effort. It just takes being mindful of it. And then talk with your child. Talk about what they're interested in, even beyond what's on their wish list. Talk about what's most important to them, who their friends are, just what kind of things they're interested in. And then making sure to find time to show affection. We can get really busy and forget to just give our kid a squeeze here and there, or our teenager a high five, or whatever their love language is. We just need to make sure that we're really doing that on a daily basis. And then when your child is behaving well, make sure that you say something about that. So we know that kids tend to do the behavior that gets the most attention. So if we are praising them when they're doing the right thing, they're more likely to do that in the future. So make sure we give attention to that. Have interesting activities available for them. We know less bored children are less likely to get into mischief. And finally, one of the biggest things you can do during the holiday season to encourage good behavior is to set the example. So if you would like things to be less stressful, you would like people to speak calmly and respectfully, we need to make sure that as the adults and the main teacher of our household, that we check our tone. Sometimes that, just being in a hurry, we can have a very sharp tone that then can cause an escalation or cause increased stress or hostility between just in conversation. So really making sure that we're setting a good example. If we're wanting our children to be helpful during the holiday seasons or life in general, making sure that we set that example. And we can ask our children if they're having a hard time, what can I do to help? Or if you have a partner in the home, being mindful to set that example, to be service minded and to help our partners and be supportive especially when our kids are looking, making sure that we're setting that good example. Using incidental teaching is really important. So if there's a teachable moment, if we're wanting to teach our kids to be charitable, there's a lot of good incidental teaching opportunities available during the holidays where we can invite our children into those things and those skills that we are trying to teach them for a lifetime. And then ultimately, I think it's really important to remember that during the holidays, there's a lot of joy, there's a lot of fun, but there is also a lot of stress. So I tend to think of family togetherness, food, cooking, all the things that go in preparing. Sometimes there's a lot of money that's spent over the holidays, so that can be a stressor. So there's just a lot of things going on that aren't usually going on, and so that can be more stressful, right? There's a lot of fun with it, but it can also add a lot of stress. And so what happens with more stress? For adults, it's harder to behave when we have a lot more stress and a lot more plates to juggle, right? And for kids, I guarantee it's very, very hard because they have the stress of behaving well so that Santa comes or whatever holiday they are celebrating. They have more stress in that way. There's a lot of things going on. There's lights, there's excitement, there's probably a lot more sugar in their system. So all of those things combined, it is really, really, really hard for our children to behave really well with all of those things going on in their little bodies. So let's make sure we have realistic expectations, and whatever we can do to minimize those risks, maybe, kind of keeping tabs on how much sugar our kids have around the holidays. Or maybe thinking about, are we overscheduled for this holiday season? Is this a little too much? And scaling back if we need to. If you are running to every place, you might need to think about what's more realistic on your holiday schedule. And don't feel bad. Remember, parenting is about taking care of yourself as well. So if you can't make it to every event you're invited to, it's okay. All right. Give yourself a break. Figure out and decide as a family maybe what you would like to go to, and then give yourself some breathing room. And when all else fails, make sure that we're using assertive discipline to get to the root of discipline issues right when they happen, so that we're not putting it off and growing a problem. So we've got some specific tips to deal with that if you need those, but I won't go into all that right now. I hope this helps thinking about the holidays approaching. And as always, if you need any tips or even would like a mini session just to kind of feel like you have a plan for this holiday season, you are more than welcome to contact me. And I hope you all have a wonderful season. Bye-bye.